Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing well. So in today's video, we're going to go over some of the latest SCUM dev information that they've released in regards to the progress of the game. So like always though, guys, I'm just going to go over this information pretty high level. So if you guys want to get all the additional details, make sure to check all the links in the description below. But let's just get straight into it, guys. So we're going to get started off here with SCUM dev update number 121. In here, they call out that they're continuing to work on game bugs across the board. They're also working on the Sentry, also known as the mech, optimizations. They are working on the armored NPC's movement. They are continuing work on the Kinglet Mariner. If you guys are not familiar, this is the seaplane that used to be in the game. They're continuing work on UI redesigns and improvements. Now, we don't have a ton of detail about this. I know this is a big topic in the community, a lot of things that people want to see improved in regards to the UI. So I'm hoping that with these redesigns and improvements they're making, guys, this will fix a lot of the issues that we're all experiencing and that we'd all like to see improved. So we don't, like I said, we don't have a ton of information, but I'm sure that we'll see a lot more information come out in the future. But just know, guys, that they are working on that. They state that they're continuing work on the anti-cheat improvements, and something else that was new that I noticed is they said they're working on a trench gun. Now, if you guys are not familiar, the trench gun was a shotgun. If it's the same trench gun that I think of, the trench gun was a shotgun that was used in World War II. So this could be pretty interesting. We do have a pretty wide variety of shotguns in the game, but this will just add to that variety as well, along with some of the other weapons that they've been working on and added to the game over the past. So we're just going to continue to get a variety of weapons over time. But yeah, this was something I thought was pretty cool and I just wanted to point out. And then they also said they are continuing work on the tractor. Something else that I noticed though that I wanted to make note of is in here they called out that they are gearing up for the final push, ensuring that no bugs slip through the cracks and that cheaters are dealt with effectively. So this makes me think that we're pretty close to an update, guys. So this was posted back kind of mid-February, February 17th. So it's been a couple weeks since this information was released, but this makes me think that we're pretty close to an update. So we might see an update here in March, guys. I don't know if it'll be the 1.0. I would be shocked if it was. I really don't think it is. I think it's going to be kind of a decent sized update, kind of pushing us to that 1.0 mark. They're probably going to do a lot of bug fixes in this update. They're probably going to add in some of the stuff that we haven't seen or heard about in a while, like the trash ghillie and so forth. So I think there's going to be definitely some new content with this coming update, but I don't think it's going to be the 1.0 update. I still think we're not going to see the 1.0 update for at least a few more months. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to call out there, guys. But on to SCUM dev update number 122. In here they say they're continuing work on the garden base building element improvements and fixes. They're also continuing work on the anti-cheat system improvements like we talked about before. Continue work on the map reworks and texture improvements. Continue work on new animations. Not really a whole lot of information there, but sounds like they're adding a lot of new animations into the game or fixing some of the current animations and so forth. They're also continuing work on the tractor like mentioned before, and if you guys aren't familiar, here's just some more concept and teaser images of the tractor and some of the modular stuff that we might see in the future. They're also continuing work on a sawed off deagle. I have no idea what a sawed off deagle is. I'm kind of curious. I have some things in mind. I've done a little bit of research, but I really don't quite know what a sawed off deagle is. So I'm really curious about this. If you guys know what that is, post something in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, I thought this was pretty interesting. And I know in one of the previous videos they said that they are working on a new deagle version. So now we know they're calling it the sawed off deagle. So I don't know what that means. Like, we have the sawed off shotgun, but I don't really know, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, that's something that really stood out to me. They're also continuing work on the new NPCs like we've talked about in the past, and they're continuing work on sound bugs and environmental sound effects. And then moving on to SCUM dev update number 123. So they're continuing work on improving rain and wetness effects. I don't know why that one kind of made me laugh a little bit for some reason. Continuing work on the new NPCs, like we mentioned before. Continuing work on a new high loot POI. Now, this one got me thinking about what POIs that we don't have in the game that the devs have talked about in the past. And the only one that really kind of stood out to me that I haven't seen much about or heard much about in a long time was they at one point mentioned about doing a new resort style POI in the Z0 sector right here, kind of where this red zone is at the top of Z0. They were talking about at one point way back when they did the whole southern expansion of the map that they were going to add like a big resort style POI there. All the other ones that they've talked about adding over the years, they have added that I can remember at least. But this is one that stood out to me that we haven't heard anything about in a long time. So it makes me wonder if that's what they're talking about when they say they're adding a new high loot POI. I could be completely wrong, but that was the only one I could think of. Unfortunately, there's not really much concept images or anything out there of it, but basically what they've said in the past was it's going to be like a big giant resort, like beachfront resort, like you would see on if you went on vacation or holiday or whatever. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, guys, and it's something to kind of ponder about and think. What do you guys think it'll be? Let me know in the comments below. But continuing on, they're continuing work on the quest functionalities. They have major work on improving the server browser. I know for me, that's something that I've always wondered about over the years, is when they're going to make improvements to the server browser and actually adding like server queues into the game. They've also talked about that. They didn't mention that here, but I'd love to see server queues. Improvements to the server browser would be great. It definitely needs some improvements. It's not terrible, but it's not the best either. So, but yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what they've got working for this. And I guess we'll have to wait and see once we get some more information in the future. And like mentioned before, they're continuing work on the tractor, continue work on server optimizations and functionalities, continue work on the anti-cheat system, continue work on map improvements, fixing grip issues on various items. I know I've noticed that quite a bit on some items with your character not gripping them correctly. Adjusting the range of some of the two-handed melee weapons. I thought that was kind of interesting. Continue work on environmental sounds, work on additional options for server owners. This is something I always like to see, is when server owners get more options, more functionality. It just overall makes servers more customizable and allows for a wide variety of SCUM experiences, which is something I really think helps the life of the game. Continuing work on new Dina task, and then continued a massive amount of bug fixing work across the board. So there was a lot of bug fixing called out, and these guys, I didn't want to put every single bug fix that they said they're working on in here. Just know it's a wide variety between sound, environmental, graphics, textures, animation, all kinds of stuff. I mean, basically anything you can think of, they're doing bug fixes for, and all the new content that's coming and the changes that are coming. I'm sure there's a ton of bug fixing that goes along with that. So lots and lots and lots of bug fixing going on, guys. Yeah, so we're going to move on to the X post. So this is a lot of information they posted on the X over the past few weeks, and some of these really stood out to me. But yeah, we're just going to go through these pretty quick, guys. But yeah, so they've talked about showing some of the teaser images of the rework of the Naval sub bay with the U-boat inspired submarine in it. So yeah, there's an image of that, and I'll put some images on screen as we're going through these, guys. Yeah, and then they just did another leaked image of some of the foliage rework here. And same thing here, just some more foliage rework teaser images that we'll see, and these look like actual like in-game screenshots. So these don't look just like concept art, these actually look like in-game screenshots. I don't know graphic settings or any of that. I don't have any of that detail. Essentially all I have is what you see on screen now. And then they did a update about the trash ghillie. Now I'm going to post an image on screen now. See if you can find where the guy in the trash ghillie is laying. He is in the image. For some of you, it might stand out pretty quick. For others, it might take a minute to find him. But yeah, it's pretty neat. It actually blended in better than I thought it was going to. So I was kind of intrigued by that. Then they released a little video of the seaplane, a little teaser. So I'll put that on screen now. So yeah, as you guys seen, the seaplane's pretty close to being finished. I'm definitely excited to see that back in the game, add more variety to the vehicles in the game, and just gives people a vehicle that seems like a lot of the community has really missed, along with like the tractor and so forth. So definitely cool to see that coming back in the game. Yeah, here's just another teaser image of the Kinglet Mariner. and flying around the island. And then they also released kind of another sneak peek of some of the POI reworks. As you can see, it's kind of hard without like a comparison image to see kind of what has changed, but it does look like the textures are more polished. They definitely look more realistic in my opinion. So definitely cool stuff there. I'm sure across the island, everything's going to look completely different or really refreshed and really polished based off everything we're already seeing. So I'd say they have to be getting pretty close to being towards the final stages of the map rework and the POI reworks, just based off all the images they're releasing, all the time, all the information they are discussing about it. I'd say that this is getting pretty close to being done just based off everything we're seeing. I could be wrong, but they are releasing a lot of teaser images of this. So yeah, and then here, like I said, there's more images of some of the reworks around the island that are going on, and these all look to be in-game screenshots that were actually taken. So yeah, I'm definitely excited, guys. I know something that a lot of people were complaining about, and I kind of wanted to point out because I know I'll probably get comments about it, is if you look in some of the snow biome images, you can see that there's not really snow on the treetops. That's something I hope we see. To be honest, I think it adds a lot more depth to the environment. I can also see that that might be really graphics intensive and might push the game engine past its limits based off all the other stuff that's already in the game. I don't really know, guys. Like I said, this is all kind of speculation on my part, but I definitely hope we get to see at least maybe not all the trees, but at least a good amount of the trees that have snow actually on the leaves and so forth. If the devs can do that, I think that'd be awesome. I think that'd really add to the depth of the snow biome. But either way, guys, I still think even if we don't get that it still looks really good based off all the images they have given us so far. I'm definitely excited to see the final product. Just keep that in mind, guys, that this is still work in progress, so they might add and change a lot more still. But based off what we're getting now, guys, I'm still really excited to see it, and I bet the game's going to feel like a completely different game once we get all these changes implemented with the 1.0 update. But yeah, that's pretty much all the images and information I have today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If there's anything that stood out to you guys or something you want to discuss, go ahead and put it in the comments below. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Personally, I'm really excited. I'm glad to see all this information coming out. I really am convinced that we'll probably see an update pretty soon. But I guess we'll have to wait and see, guys. But if you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future Scum content. But like always, guys, do good, do have fun, and do be kind. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.